Ken has epic boat trip. Just gonna leave us behind. Okay, that's cool. Whatever. Didn't want to go on a boat anyway. And what's up with Mr. Shades? Excuse me, Mr. Scott. Kind of like Scott Summers with them shades. Ha ha ha. Cyclops up in Pokemon. And I like how everybody just walks up to you and registers themselves in your Pokenav. Like, I don't want to call you Scott. I never want to see you again, even though you're going to be getting that stalker mode. But whatever. Been to the harbor a few times already. Excuse me if you hear me slurping. I'm drinking some water. I tried recording this 20-minute epic without any water, and my throat was like, nah, bruh, needs some lubrication. But anyway, back to RPGs and such. Yeah, when I played the Final Fantasy VIII, I had no real concept of what an RPG was. All I knew was there was a guy wielding a sword that could shoot people also, and I was like, this is amazing. Tried running through and beating that game. I had Squall at level 73. I think the next closest person was Renoa at like level 50, and then everybody else was 20s, 30s maybe. And for those of you who don't know, in that game, the bosses scale to your level. They're not at a set marker. So if you're level 100, they're level 100 with like 100,000 HP, and vice versa. Yeah, I didn't really know much about the junctioning system, where you put magic into your stats and make yourself stronger. I basically was running around with no clue what I was doing, and calling the game trash because I couldn't beat it. Got to that last boss. Squall was the only person left alive. I knew how to use auras and get them fake limit breaks, you know. Just sit there and spam circle and until the limit break pops up, and then you can use it. But yeah, everybody just got one-shotted by the time I got to the second boss, or second boss form of the final boss. And of course I didn't know that Chocobos could walk on water, since this was my first Final Fantasy game. If I had known that, then I could have gone to a ship, done some training, blah blah blah. But coulda, woulda, shoulda. And get these Minons and Plusles. Looks more like Pichus, but they're apparently the Emerald version of Pichus. Or maybe these are like minor forms of Pichus, or some kind of family member. I honestly don't know. I would never use these. They look like just electric type trash. Let's see, Final Fantasy. Get that level up. So yeah, after Final Fantasy VIII, I played Final Fantasy IX, which is hands down my favorite Final Fantasy of all time. Beaten that game about 30 times, at least. When I played through that, I was still pretty much a JRPG noob. I had no idea about special summons, you know, super side quests. I had a little bit of an idea about side quests, but I didn't know that they could go stupid in depth, like Chocobo's Paradise and Air Garden and all that in Final Fantasy IX. Yeah, I didn't do any of that stuff. I just played through the game. I didn't even get Flare for Vivi, which is an amazing spell. I just got Meteor, and I'm working my way towards Doomsday. I think I gotta get his ultimate weapon to get Doomsday. Trying to get the Arc for Garnet. Just all around trying to beast mode that Final Fantasy IX. I think the first time I beat that game, I completed at like level 55. Just trance with Zane, or excuse me, Zidane, and use that, what is it, Grand Lethal. Just get that 9,999 damage. Use that 4 or 5 times and kill the last boss. Game over, you win. But yeah, playing through it now, making sure I get everybody's ultimate weapon. Well, excuse me, Zidane, Vivi, Garnet, and Freya's ultimate weapons. The other characters I could really care less about. You're not forced to play with them. Uh-oh, Grandma Ketchup making a comeback? You shouldn't have a bike anyway, because you would probably break your back or something. But, anyway, as this fool keeps running along, getting these battles. Uh-oh. get this new character model. Who is this busty chick? Our Aroma Lady Daisy. Just should have more cleavage showing since you're already leaning forward. Just need to get that slit in that sweater. Excuse me. So yeah, as I mentioned, I like racing games also. Oh, excuse me, RPGs. Final Fantasy VII. I played that. Didn't really get what all the hype was about. I popped that game in and I was like, this looks awful. Blocky hands, just that game is. The game looks like somebody threw up, added code to it so the throw up could move around after it already splattered against the ground, and called it a game. Maybe it's because it was the first PS1 RPG. I think that's correct in saying that, or the first Square Enix RPG on the PS1, since Final Fantasy VI was freaking epic. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII just didn't really do it for me. I had the same end boss syndrome. I had Cloud at like level 50, everybody else was like level 20. So yeah, I definitely didn't beat Sephiroth. I got to his last form, got to his angel form, but then he used the meteor move or whatever, and that was the end of that. And I couldn't go back to town because everybody was pretty much dead. I had no items, and I was stuck at the bottom of that cavern. Trying to fight my way out was not about to happen. But yeah, I didn't play 10 because I didn't have a PS2 when that came out, and when I did get a PS2 I wasn't interested in getting it. Didn't play 12 either. I played 11. 11 was... I still play 11 off and on. 11 is different. That's where I met Not Ant before he quit 11, because that game just got super trash and he's not really into MMOs anymore. But I met a lot of my close friends on that game. Final Fantasy 11, man. I remember just walking into GameStop, talking to people, be like, "Hey man, I play Final Fantasy 11," and then you find that one random person who also plays, and you can have a conversation for hours, just talking about 11. At least you used to be able to. Now, not so much, because they broke the game with that stupid Abyssia expansion. But we're not going to go there. And get this fisherman. $10 says he has trashy Magikarp. Get that Magikarp. That's my biggest pet peeve with Pokemon. This probably isn't the zone for it, but I'm pretty sure Ant is going to go through an area where there's like 10,000 fishermen, and all they have are Magikarp. This one at least is on a step up and has a tentacle as that backup, but I can't stand, especially in like the red, blue, yellow and the Crystal Era games, when you go back to Kanto and you go down, what is that, Route 44, I think it is, that long bridge, riding down, all those fishermen, all they have is Magikarp, and you're just like, why? And then you register them in your phone, they call you back, and their Magikarp are level 20, not evolved, just wasting Pokeball space. I'm like, just a waste of my time. Hopefully the callback in this game is better, where they keep getting stronger every time they call you back. That would actually be interesting, but I doubt that they would do that. Uh-oh, use that HM, okay. As I said, I like racing games, more arcadey than the simulators, like Burnout. Burnout definitely is my favorite racing series. Need for Speed also. Not the Shift so much, or the latest. Actually, I didn't play the last Hot Pursuit. I think is what it was called. But the Need for Speed Most Wanted for the 360, that game was amazing. Burnout 3 is probably my favorite racing game of all time. And then Burnout Revenge for the Xbox. The one on 360 was okay, but the original Xbox Burnout Revenge was definitely better. Burnout Paradise is a pile of trash. If anybody tells you to play that game, do not play it. Take my word for it. Actually, since you haven't played any of the other Burnouts, you might be fine playing it. But that game was like a Need for Speed clone. It was horrible. As far as shooters, my first-person shooter was Halo. Other than that, I didn't really like first-person shooters. I couldn't really get behind them. But after I played Halo, man, Halo, best first-person shooter ever made. Other than that, I like Call of Duty 4, especially for the story in Call of Duty 4. Most people say, "Oh, first-person games don't have a good story." Call of Duty 4, that story was pretty solid. I won't say the same for Call of Duty 2. Spoiler alert: when that nuke went off in was that Call of Duty 2? I think that was Call of Duty 2. I think I'm confused on my timelines now. Either way, when that nuke went off and your helicopter goes down and you crawl out of there and you end up dying from radiation poisoning, yeah, that was pretty amazing. I'm pretty sure that was Call of Duty 2. But yeah, that was pretty traumatic. Sergeant Johnson in the back of the helicopter. After you took all that time to get those stranded pilots or whatever, and you all just end up dying from a nuclear explosion. Guards must prevent stat reduction when used in battle. That's pretty situational. I'm surprised this fool didn't collect those berries. Anyway, let's see what's going on here. Got about 30 seconds left. As far as fighting games go, I'm a DOA fan through and through. I'm not so hot with the 2D fighters. Not that they're trash or anything. 2D fighters are amazing for those who are good at them. Like Marvel, BlazBlue, stuff like that. I'm just not good at those kind of games where you gotta jump, cancel, and do all the kinds of stuff that's just over my head. Give me counters, give me jiggling boobs, and I'm good to go. And it looks like this Pokemon Epic is coming to an end. Once again, this is Kaname Musoa filling in for Not-Ant, who had a roughed up audio file. And signing out. See you later.